Pastor Steve's daughters and some of the grandkids, and we just wanted to come to you today and talk to you about our dad and mom. You see them on stage and all that, but you don't ever get to see the inside of how silly and funny they are. So we wanted to let y'all in on how funny they are. Now don't get mad, Mom and Dad. We don't mean to tell y'all secrets, but y'all are just hilarious.
Yeah, and like you said, they are very, they're very spiritual, like, they're constantly reading the Word and studying and all that kind of stuff. But there are those times that they are funny as all get out. Like, for instance, just recently, I don't know if it's, their house got broken into. What a shame. But it happened. And my mother, instead of being concerned about the house being broken into, the first words out of her mouth was, oh, the one day I'll leave dishes in the sink. Like, you know, who cares that you left dishes in the sink? Somebody broke into your house, you know. So she's funny.
They're hilarious. They literally, Georgia, what were you saying about Papa and the bull?
Oh yeah, what happened with him that time?
Oh, we were on a family vacation and he was trying to ride the bull and then he flipped off and his shoe got stuck in the thing.
Hold on really tight, here goes the countdown. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Alright, good job.
Girls, talk about what Papa does when we go on family vacations and how much fun he has with y'all. Like
what does he do? Like tell them how he does to embarrass y'all. Yeah. That's one of his.
He tells boys that we like
every single one he
just
sees.
to embarrass us. And then he gives them our numbers. And then he'll take pictures of them.
It's true.
Yes, he does that. He will go next to strange boys and be like, "Hey, will you take a picture of my granddaughter? She likes you."
Yeah.
And you're like, "What?" Yeah. My dad's just hilarious. He enjoys embarrassing us, though. That is something that he's always enjoyed. But it's memories and funny things that you have.
One of the things I remember that he used to do to me as a teenager. This was so embarrassing. He would pick me up from school at high school. In front of the entire school. Wait a minute. He would pick me up. All my friends would be standing outside hanging out. I would walk up to the car. I'd go to open the door. As soon as I go to open the door, he'd drive up. Yeah. Like drive off. So I'm like, ugh. So I walk up to the car again, go to reach for the door handle, he'd drive up. Yeah. It would do it like 6 times. And finally I would just stand there and then my friends would be laughing and that just encouraged him even more.
Oh, when Abby turned
16,
she got a car for her birthday. She had saved up some money, and so Dad used her money and put some money with it. And in front of her whole entire school, he hired a Pee Wee Herman dancer to dance for her.
Yeah, he did. He did the Pee Wee Herman dance, and he made. I don't know if y'all remember the Pee Wee Herman dance, but from the TV show. He made me do the Pee Wee Herman dance in front of my entire school. Like, all the school buses were lined up, and they wouldn't leave because they were watching the show. And it was a show to embarrass me, thanks to my dad and my mom and some other family members. That's just how they are. They're fun, funny. They love to embarrass us. You know what? It's not just embarrassing us. They want us to have a good time.
To laugh.
And enjoy life.
When there was one year in Jamaica that the grandkids begged him to let them give him a mohawk, and he was all like, whatever. And so he walked around the whole day with a mohawk. Didn't even care. He's just like that.
Hey, and that was before his hair cut in the spikes.
So it was like really high.
It was when he had his regular haircut.
Oh, wait.
I have a question.
What I want to know.
Wait a minute.
Whose kids are these?
No, wait.
Your
Do
mom.
you see what Pastor Steve has to put up with as well as everything else that's going on in his
I have
life?
a question.
Hey, Bobo, you said you had something funny that Papa or Granny did. What is it?
Yeah, I don't remember where it was, but whenever we went, and then there was my papa, he got a bird on his shoulder, and it bit in his chest. His chest.
Can we leave that in?
We're on our honeymoon.
Man.
They're biting you?
Get it out!
I hope I got that on video. I started.
Chelsea, what's something funny that you think?
Don't stop believing.
My mom and my dad raised these kids. That's why they're like this.
Kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the king. The wind is howling like the swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I tried.
Ready?
Don't let
Them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. You feel, don't let them know. What now? Let it go. Let it go.
Let it
The next thing that my dad likes to do is pranks. He is the king of pranking. Now, there was times that he pranked us and we'd be dead asleep and he'd hang like stuffed animals up from our ceiling and with string and we'd wake up to something flying at our face. One time we were at a youth ski trip and the boys kept pranking the girls and we could never get the boys. They'd always figure it out before we do it. So we went to Pastor. We were like, hey, can you help us? And he ended up helping us and we ended up locking the boys out their room. And that was
and you were on a ski trip, right?
Yeah.
So it was winter. It was
yes,
really cold.
snowing.
And all the boys, but for pranking y'all,
Yeah.
Pastor helped to get them locked out so they're out there in the cold.
Yeah, and they were in shorts and t-shirts or whatever. We definitely videoed that. That was funny. He's so funny. My mom is the same way. She's so quiet, like you'd never know that she is as hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
She makes you laugh. Not only do they make you laugh, they love us. They're so loving. Like
One time we was at, where was we at? We was at the Food Lion, and the man was like, y'all need to have all these grandkids, and she was like, that's what they all say.
What's his face or was it a different
We
guy?
all heard for like weeks. It was so funny.
It was when we had a sleepover with her one night, just us four.
So the funny thing is my mom, not only is she funny and loving and all that, she is the best mom example in the world.
Every inch of you is perfect.
From the bottom to the top.
I'm not even kidding you. Like just recently, Caitlin and Cassandra, their house got flooded, so they spent the night with her, and they brought one bag, and I'm pretty sure they stayed for like 4 days instead of one because they didn't want to leave. What did she do whenever y'all wake up?
Well, we would wake up to the smell of orange Danish.
Yes, that's
And then she also cooked it like before work. I woke up and she had this whole big meal of grits, bacon, eggs, everything. It was so good.
Caitlin comes down to my house and she has this bag of bacon or whatever, full of bacon, and I'm like, Granny made y'all breakfast like that? And she said, yeah. And I was like, I'm mad. And so she said, yeah, Mom, I slept in. So when I got up, she had all my stuff in little baggies so I could take it with me. She's just a great example. Like, if I could be even half the mom that she is, I'd be doing good. And they're so much fun. And today we're going to show y'all some funny videos, some funny pictures. And we really hope that y'all enjoy and y'all get an idea of how fun they are.
They have raised some of the silliest grandkids. Yeah, I said they have raised. Because the silliness does not come from us, it comes from our parents.
Haven't you ever heard if you can't say nothing nice?
Savannah, what was something funny that you said about Granny?
We were at her house one time, and we were watching a movie, and music came on, and she walked in the room, and she started dancing and singing to the song. It was High School Musical.
High School Musical, she was singing, she
Yeah,
was dancing.
She is
That's
silly.
it. You know, I remember, this was really funny. I think I may have told this before, but it's worth telling again. We were kids. Joanna was a little baby, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. We're in a hotel at a pastor's conference. The smoke alarm starts going off. Mom, immediately you jump up and panic in the middle of the night. Smoke alarm's going off. You know, Dad's doing all the necessary things, checking the door to see if it's hot for smoke and all that stuff. Yes,
Really?
Granny picks up Joanna because she's a baby. Picks her up.
She's in a
out-
bassinet.
She's in her little bassinet. Picks her up out of the bassinet and lays her on the bed so we can grab the other belongings and go. So then Mom like gets sidetracked. She turns around to the bassinet and is like, "Ah! The baby's gone!" Mom, she's on the bed. You put her on the bed.
Dad had already pushed out the window, opened the window, pushed out the screen. We all were gonna have to jump like down 2 floors because they thought it was on fire. It was not
It wasn't on fire. It was some kids that had just went around pulling the fire alarm. But what was funny too is that Mom's very particular about how she dresses when she leaves the house. She's always put together. Y'all all know that. She's always put together. Well, she just throws on her clothes and thinking the building's on fire, we gather everything and run downstairs and we're like, okay, does everybody have everything that's your necessity that you're gonna need? And Mom's like, I have my brush. So as long as she has her hairbrush, I guess that was all.
That's all she brought. Us and her brush. That was it. And you know, my dad's an adventurous person. Like he ain't scared of anything. People back in the day used to break in our houses, and he would chase them. Like he'd find out who they were. He'd sit and wait, and he would chase them. One time we parked and waited because we knew they were coming back because they left stuff outside. So we parked and waited, and we literally chased them on a high-speed car chase, and we lost them. So then he took us to Krispy Kreme because you know that makes everything better, right? But then after probably about 20 minutes, my mom said, "Steve, God said to turn down this road, and then turn down this road, and then here, go to that Jiffy store. Go look behind the dumpster." I'm not kidding you. This is exactly what happened. And you know what? The van that we were chasing was sitting behind the dumpster, and they seen my dad, and my dad parks the car. They see my dad. They start speeding off. My dad, being who he is, jumps in the window, hanging on to the man, telling him, "Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff?" He's going at this point like 20 miles per hour. We're screaming and yelling.
It's like the movie. He's hanging out the window. Oh my gosh.
You know when he tells those
Is he holding like this slide
and the man was yelling, "Get off me! Get off me!" When my dad talks about he goes and takes his stuff back. He ain't kidding. He goes and takes his stuff back. He don't let the enemy take his stuff. So I'm about to tell a story that I was sworn to secrecy, but now I'm older. She can't really beat me.
What can she do? She can't
she can be mad though, and please don't be mad. Please, Mom. But you can tell stories about me next week if you want to. That's okay. But so we used to travel with my dad all the time, and so my mom was real big about not leaving us at home. She wanted to be there to want to take care of us, so we would travel. And so my dad would drive all night long to get to his next revival or whatever. And so one night we were driving all night long. We were so tired, and my mom doesn't go to sleep. She wouldn't go to sleep. She'd stay up all the time too because of making sure my dad won't fall asleep. And one night, for some reason, she dozed off for a few minutes, and then when she dozed off, all of a sudden we're awake, and she dozed off, and she says, "Steve, did you just see that cow jump through that sign over there?" And she was dead serious, and of course we're rolling the floor because we know that she's asleep and she's sleep talking. There was no cow jumping through a sign, obviously.
Because we even said, "What sign?" She goes, "That big
Billboard."
Billboard. Really funny.
Yeah. So she's playing her net. Sorry, Mom, but she's just funny, and I really love my parents. I'm not even saying that just because they're my parents. They are perfect for us. We're all silly and crazy like them, and we just wanted to give you a little insight into their life.
I like turtles. I like turtles. The only thing I have to say is that they call me pretty, and that's all I need.